What's up, Agency Go fam? So I have a good video for you today. I'm really excited about this topic. This is a very controversial topic, so bring it on. I'm excited to talk all about the difference between no code and low code. And the reason it's a controversial topic is because people like myself don't really like the phrase no code. I don't like that. I think the whole thing is just kind of like off. For some background on myself, if you haven't seen any of these other videos on my channel, I have built a $2 million agency. And then over the last 12 months, I've also taught myself software development, and I built AgencyGo.io. And AgencyGo.io is a SaaS tool that's built on Bubble. And people would define that as no code, maybe low code as a solution. I think that, no code makes people think that it's not development, right? But at the end of the day, let's think about it. Do your customers care? Honestly, if you have a user who is using your software product, do they give a crap if it's no code versus low code, or if it's custom code? Like, nobody cares. They just want to use your product. That's all they care about. So point being is that Bubble.io is technically a no-code tool. And what no-code essentially is it's an evolution of different programming languages. And I didn't get a degree in computer science, so I don't necessarily understand every single piece of the historical timeline of computer science. So if you're an internet troll, I know you might be going in the comments, commenting about me not being able to explain this properly, but I'll do my best, all right? So basically, from what I've understood and what I've read up on, you have early programming languages, which were very much in line, in tune with sort of lower level languages that were interacting directly with like the binary code of computer programming. And then essentially what happened is over time, you started to get into like scripted languages that were more higher levels of abstraction. And what Bubble.io is it's the highest level of abstraction, I would argue, that exists nowadays. It's called visual programming. It's a visual programming language. And so instead of going directly into sort of like the binary code of the actual computer, you could think of something like MS-DOS as like one of the first majorly popular programming languages that was popularized by Microsoft and Bill Gates and stuff. That one was a lot more direct in terms of being directly focused on the actual nuts and bolts of what made a computer run software. But then as you get more abstract, you get into things like visual programming, which essentially is taking elements that are on your computer, like any element, like think of a dashboard could be one element. And in visual programming, what you could do is you could move that dashboard over, just like by dragging your mouse and moving it over. That is something that you can do within a no-code tool. And you can literally just say, when this action happens, I want this other action to happen. Or when this action happens, I want to create a new item in my database, or I want to send this email. And you're literally just using human language to describe what is happening. You're not using code, right? It's not like lines of code that you would see in a program. They're usually just very in the weeds and very technical, and they don't have a lot of marketing experience, and they're honestly just bitter about the fact that somebody else can come out of nowhere with no funding and be completely bootstrapped and build a product that gets tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in sales or more without going through all the rigorous custom development. And this happens all the time. Like when you look at every technological innovation or movement that has happened in history, usually it's when there was a big shift. There's a lot of people who say that the shift is not actually going to happen, that it's not going to actually come to fruition. You saw it with Bitcoin, right? You saw it with, and you look at their Copilot solution, which basically is helping people. It's kind of like when you type a Gmail and you're sending a message to somebody, it will complete that message for you. They're actually spending so much money rolling out the solution that's essentially going to complete lines of code on autopilot for software developers, right? Another tool is OpenAI, which is GPT-3, if you're familiar with that. Essentially a very new AI language and API that is essentially allowing people to use AI in the masses. So like you might have seen tools like Copy.ai or other ones, they use stuff like GPT-3 to generate copy for their websites on autopilot and to automatically do it. That is a way that no code is becoming more popular. So you have all these massive companies who are spending billions of dollars to essentially make developers' lives a lot easier. And yet at the same time, you have software developers who are saying that that's not code, this is not real, this is not gonna be a big thing, and it's just silly in my opinion. So that's the difference between no code and low code, is really just like the levels of abstraction between the two. Hopefully this helps you in understanding how to actually enter into the software development space, and hopefully it doesn't discourage you from getting started, because you might think, oh, I want to be a software developer, I want to build my own apps, but it's going to take me so much time and years of learning to be able to build an app that makes over $6,000 per month or $8,000 per month. I can tell you unequivocally that it does not. It didn't take me 5 years and a master's degree to learn how to code. I do know, and this is the other big thing, right? I just consider myself a software developer because I am developing software, and also because if you want to extend Bubble, right, or extend any of these no-code tools, but just to get started, to just have an application, the beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things that's happening in our world today is that it's the democratization of software development. And you might think that right now software development is democratized because everyone on the planet has access to it, which is true if you have a computer and internet connection. But what you don't understand is that there still are biases against people who may not traditionally be sort of technically minded in getting into software development. And luckily, you're gonna see more people like Steve Jobs who are more design focused, being able to build applications, which is really what people want to see. They don't care how fast your processing time is. They care about the emotional connection they have with the software, or just the efficiency of the software itself to produce a desired outcome. Now, I will say, there is one caveat here. It's very well the case that you might build your no-code solution to 6 figures or 7 figures a year in revenue, and then at that point, you might want to build something custom, and that's okay. But the beautiful thing about what's happening right now is you don't have to go raise $1 million or $5 million to do this. You can do it from your home without raising a single dollar. Point being is, don't get discouraged on it. Start doing no code now, because you're going to be thanking me later if you get going on it. I'm not even selling a no code course or boot camp or workshop or anything like that. I just want more people to be doing it. I think it's the most amazing thing that is happening to our world right now. So you got to get into it. And if you want to follow my journey along, if you are a marketing agency and you want to learn how to scale your marketing agency more, you go to agencygo.io. You get all my stuff for free. I'll show you how I was able to grow my agency to over $2 million in revenue. And you'll find more content just like this to help you build apps to help scale your agency even more. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share this content. If you need anything else from me, you know where to find me. I'm pretty much anywhere you get your content nowadays. And I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.